Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Six Gaming Podcast. Filling in for your host, as always, it's Ron Klee. Shosan, of course, as mentioned last week, he is going to be out this week. He had his procedure for his kidney stone on Friday, and he is recovering and is in a lot of pain.
He had to be intubated, so...
Yeah. I don't know what that means. I don't want to know what that means.
He was whining a lot.
I would too. I probably would be whining a lot. But anyway, we have, as always, an illustrious cast of characters with us, starting with Mr. Pantherian.
Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
It's going well. I brought a friend.
I see that.
I can bring a friend. Yeah.
We'll get to that in a second here because I've got like this. I'm like gravitating towards this large planet here. I just can't.
So, Ron, my question to you is: the day that I actually lose all my weight, what the hell are you gonna do? You'll have nothing.
Veg is gonna weigh less than you, like at some point. So you're gonna have to keep up or something.
What, in 2361?
I don't know. You can put a running tally.
Hey, I walk 10 miles a day.
There you go. All right, and also we have Jonathan with us. Welcome to the podcast.
Hey, well, I'm glad to be here. If you guys are going by gamer handles, I'm usually Pissed Llama, so feel free to refer.
Pissed Llama.
Pissed Llama. Like angry?
Or intoxicated.
Or that works too. All right, so just tell us a little bit about yourself too, and how you know Dan, and just basically what you are interested in as a gamer.
Sure. Well, as you know, Dan is a mechanical engineer, and I was one of the first subjects of one of his artificial knee implants. I broke my knee pretty severely playing football, and he was one of the consultants that we had rebuild it. And not a $6 million man, but maybe a $60,000 man now. Since then, he rubs it with lotions and massages it, which is nice. As far as gaming goes, pretty regular League of Legends and also Overwatch.
Dan,
you have to put it in a basket.
Dan, you've had the shit-eating grin on your face for the last, 30 seconds.
This is everything he says is absolutely true.
Excellent.
No, it's not. He's my buddy.
Yeah. Cool. All right. So we're gonna get right into it with this is Shosan's favorite part of the show. This is like the third week in a row he's missed this part. It's just eating him up inside. I don't know what he's doing to get over this, but this is his favorite part. This is usually when he hits the button on his soundboard and you hear something that sounds very much like "Good news, everyone." And
exactly like that.
Not exactly, but it's pretty close. But yeah, this is our news portion of the show. Excuse me. And we're going to kick this off with kind of a bit of a downer. As you guys know, TwitchCon happened last week in San Diego, California. I actually have a bunch of people that I know from Twitch that went there, and they had a lot of fun there. But they had one thing that they called a TwitchCon diversity panel, where they were talking about things that challenge that challenge. It's challenging for African Americans, for instance, to have a actual community on Twitch without being the subject of things like racism or anything else. And of course, this was broadcast on Twitch, and Twitch chat was, of course, plagued with completely racist chat.
When you challenge the internet, expect retaliation.
I mean, it isn't really challenging the internet. It's
but stupid people will think of that.
We've talked about things like Twitch chat and all the trolls that come out, and people hiding behind the identities of aliases and stuff like that. And I mean, this is just another chapter in what really is sad. I mean,
yeah. This is every stereotype that the gamer is all about, which is they hide behind an anonymity, and they just start blasting shit that if they were face to face with a person would never have the balls to say.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Is that all the shit that people say, they think they're cool or they're joking and think that it's funny, but said to anyone's face, almost none of these people would ever say any of these things.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just sad. It really is. You know, it's not funny. It's not edgy. It's not anything that these people think it is. It's annoying. You know,
Yeah.
and some people think it's even funnier to DDoS people too and swat them. And, you know, and it goes on the lines of that. You know, on the lines of just trolling, it's, you know, being a racist is just up there on my list of being stupid. It's dumb. Why do it? It's the same thing with people who DDoS others. You know, I am a victim of being DDoSed. And
I'm going to go out on a limb. Sorry to interrupt, but
No, you're good.
I'm not entirely sure that it is entirely racist when people do this, as much as it's taboo. And there has long been a history of people doing things for the sake of taboo. Now, it certainly comes off as racist, and like Dan and you said previously, if you had to do it face to somebody, you would be the recipient of beating. But you know, constantly in gaming, you see people saying all sorts of racist, anti-Semitic, sexist, Islamophobic, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And I think people say that because the thrill of saying something you're not supposed to. Fair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've had a bit of trouble hearing you with your mic. It keeps cutting in with a lot of static. But yeah, I mean, I have to agree with that. I don't know if these people completely take this kind of stuff to heart, if that's like how they really feel, or if they're just trying to bring attention to themselves by doing the cool thing that everyone else is doing and spam the try hard Twitch emote. You know, that's, if you're not familiar, that's kind of like a if you guys know Trihex, I know Veg, I'm pretty sure you know who that is. Pretty famous speedrunner.
Yeah.
And people have repurposed that emote for the purposes of promoting this kind of stupid chat on Twitch. So,
On
I
Twitch,
think-
was-
yeah,
is that what it is? No, I don't know.
it's it's TRI. You're close.
Oh.
That's the TRI hard.
Oh.
Is that one? So, Captain Damien, of course, saying it's the alt-right, probably. We're not going to talk about the right tonight, especially after last night. So let's move on with news here. Dan, you've got good news for Veg.
I do have good news for Veg.
Sort of.
Well, it's one of Veg's favorite.
Wait. Well, something happened.
Hi, Alex.
What happened? That's not Jonathan. Hello.
Girl!
Welcome
She's-
aboard.
She's 11.
A high pitched man.
What?
No.
No.
Anyway, Dungeon Keeper is free right now. Veg.
Already.
Someday your wife is going to teach you the difference between boys and girls.
I hope so.
Okay. So Dungeon Keeper is free right now. So if you haven't played Dungeon Keeper or would like to play Dungeon Keeper again and don't have it, you can get Dungeon Keeper. There is a catch, and the catch is that it is on Origin. So
Wah, wah.
you need to have EA/Origin. But if
why you do this?
if you have Origin, you can go and scroll way down, and it's the on the house option.
Got it. Yeah. That's
Despite where it is, I still recommend it just for the simple fact that, well, not even. I'd still recommend fucking GOG. It's only $5.
Not GOG,
Yeah.
Origin, but GOG.
yeah, but
also.
that just
saying.
Veg
yeah,
just saying
yeah.
GOG over Origin.
Yes.
despite-
Yeah, you don't have to
The
log
difference
into a
cost.
damn account to play it.
Oh, you have to log into GOG.
No, you
Yeah,
don't.
that's a big thing. That's a big thing with GOG. I actually know one of the big streamers from GOG. Goes by the name of 8-Bit Memories, who in the Descent community goes by the name of Zyko and is known for making, he's the head project guy on the main Descent source port. And he is all about the stuff that GOG offers in terms of having no strings attached gaming. You don't have to
it's
log into your
great.
Steam account. You don't have to log into an Origin account. You just play.
Well, okay, let me rephrase. There is GOG Galaxy, which I tend to use as a launcher, which is basically like GOG Steam. So all the things that you own on GOG, you can run through the launcher and install through the launcher. And,
Yeah, but Galaxy's not a DRM deal.
right.
It's
That's true.
just a launcher. That's all it
Yes.
is. These
Yeah.
other things are like, that's serious DRM, and people don't like that. So it got awfully pink over there.
They have red lights.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Is he a Barbie girl in a Barbie world?
Oh, Jesus.
Roxanne.
God.
I apologize.
Ambiance.
Ambiance. I apologize for my co-hosts here.
No, you don't.
But yeah, I mean, that's if you are okay with DRM, some people are. Dungeon Keeper, go ahead, get it on Origin. Origin, I've never had a whole lot of problems. It's a bit annoying because it always pops up some kind of advertisement or something. But
I mean, it's free, so even if you're
Yeah,
not really going to play
yeah,
it,
it's
go
free.
grab it, and maybe someday you'll want it.
see if you like it. I don't know. So more drama with No Man's Sky this week. This time on Reddit.
Surprise on Reddit.
Shocking.
The guy who ran the No Man's Sky subreddit shut it down. He set it to private, and saying that it was no longer a constructive play. I don't remember the exact words he used, but that
It was basically
pretty
it came
damning.
down to like basically a place of just scum
Yeah, it was a wasteland of
scum.
of hatred and stuff like that. And he shuts it down, and like people are go nuts. They think that Sean Murray had something to do with it, but turns out they just he just jumped to the subreddit. Someone else picked up the old picked up a new subreddit, so there is a new No Man's Sky subreddit out there. But just kind of funny that all the dramas that's coming from this game, people are not reacting well with this game at all.
I mean, yeah, there's just honestly, if I could, I would give it back to Show so he can get his money back because I haven't played it. Like I played like 28 hours of it, and
But think about it, like 28 hours is not
just 20.
but still 20
much
20
better.
hours. 20 hours is almost a whole day. I mean, that's a serious.
But you also have to look at it the same perspective. That's when you really get into it, and that's when you realize this is it. This is all that there is.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't take long to get to that point.
In all fairness, it was an impossibly ambitious game. I mean, the hype for it was insane, and what people thought it would do was insane, and infinitely expansive, never repeating, ubermensch of a game. I mean, it's just I don't know how anything could ever live up to that expectation.
Well,
Yeah.
some people have said that when you have procedural generation, you end up with a puddle that's a mile wide. It's
Yeah.
very shallow, but there's a lot to do.
But at the same time, I mean, you can still like when I thought of games that can, if I were a developer and I were to make a game like this, mine would be more along the lines of something like what Starbound did. Starbound has a story. Starbound has a goal. It has a meaning. It has a purpose. But it's most of it anyway is procedurally generated. There are some things that are not. There's like dungeons. There's towns and stuff like that. You have your one base on the outpost, stuff like that. And to be fair, No Man's Sky does have a little bit of that with the Atlas and whatever the other thing's called. God, I forget the name of those two.
There's a space station, of course.
What are those two? There's a Gek and a Convergence.
Then there's the
Polo.
computer people.
One of them's named Polo. I forget what the other one's name is. It's not Marco. I'm sorry, but there's those two, and that's kind of a regularly occurring thing in No Man's Sky. But outside of that, everything. I mean, it's just so. Once you get to the point where you have a 48 slot exosuit, you have a 48 slot ship, and you have a 24 slot tool, there's really no point. There's no story to advance. There's no goal. Now, to be fair, a lot of the people that are still playing this and still streaming the game, they're doing it because they think this game is just absolutely beautiful. And to be fair, it is. It is a very good-looking game. But for the people that were looking for gameplay along with the beauty, those are the people that are sadly disappointed. And we've talked about this before. Well, all the promises that they said that this game would have, and then it comes out and it didn't have it. They, you mentioned that it was a very ambitious game, and I agree. But they did not rein in these expectations. That's probably the main fault of Hello Games at this point.
Yeah, well, just wait for content. Boss battles, raids, dungeon crawls. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was hyped up so much because they lied about it.
I don't think it's that they lied about it. I
They
think
lied.
They actually
They
had-
lied about it.
No. They had plans to actually do this stuff. But when they realized they couldn't do it, they didn't rein in those expectations. They said, okay, we're going to cut this from the game. They never said that. So
Yeah,
I think
they
that's
actually-
what the
and a
problem
few-
is. It's not
and a
so
few-
much lying as it is
Oh, no,
overreaching and
they
not
lied,
doing
too.
something about it when they realized they couldn't do it.
No, they lied. They outright lied too about on top. The multiplayer. They said yes. They said giant space battles. Yes. They did all.
Yeah.
They said a bunch of shit. Even in their thing, they said that they were going to add this, to the main game, and none of it's there. That's why people are so mad.
Yeah.
Because
And
it's lacking so. I would understand that they said that they might be adding it. They might be doing that. They might be adding it in the future. They didn't say that. They said we're adding this. We're putting this in the game. And there's countless interviews of him going on to like the late night show with Stephen Colbert or Jimmy Fallon, whoever, with Scott going on there saying, yeah, there's going to be all this on there. And then where is it? That's my issue with that.
Well,
If they would have said this is an indie game and it's going to have this so, we might be adding this, I can understand it, but it also comes behind a $60 price tag.
Mhm.
Minecraft doesn't even have that, and that game could be $60.
yeah.
Mr. Fu
Mr.
says almost,
Fu,
yeah.
Mr. Fu says it's almost like the game is a giant tech demo. That's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
So
But a lot of people got a lot of fun out of it. So
I think everyone got muted here. Let me see if I can't fix this real quick.
why'd you mute everyone, Ron?
No, I didn't. There it goes. It's working now.
Veg is
so,
muted,
Yeah, Veg is
but he's
showing.
chewing.
Yeah, you don't want to hear that.
All right. So yeah, I mean, No Man's Sky is just a mess. It's not what people expected it to be, and everyone's mad because of it. So
But we can move on because we've talked
Yes.
about it a lot.
now you mentioned Overwatch a bit ago. Have you been following the Sombra drama?
I am so excited. My God, they've hyped this to no end, and finally it leaked out today. We've
Indeed
got
it did.
pictures. Yeah, and in a whole avalanche of information about the Halloween event. We know finally what Sombra looks like. Now, how they're going to wrap up the alternate reality games that they were doing and tie it into her eventual release, I have no idea how they're going to do it. She looks sleek. She looks interesting. It's going to provide different types of gameplay according to the reports I'm reading. This is going to really enhance the game. Knock on wood.
Yeah, it looks. And you mentioned the hype. I mean, I don't know if you follow Riker at all on YouTube. He's been putting up video after video after video on Sombra, and he sounded so hyped when he got his first look at Sombra. And there's a lot of things come out. And there's also a Halloween event. There's going to be a Frankenstein Junkrat and a Monster Roadhog to go with it, and there's some game mode having to do with that. So something
That's true. There's also a Reaper that's a headless horseman. It looks like instead of guns, maybe it just shoots energy blasts out of his hands, which would be kind of neat. We've also got a sneak peek at I'm going to say a Witch Mercy. And that looks pretty nice too, although we already have a devil skin for Mercy, so I don't know if that's much of an improvement for a Halloween costume. The costumes you'll be able to get over the next few weeks for Halloween are going to be fantastic. Blizzard always does a great job with this stuff. If there's one thing they know, it's accessorizing their characters. The gameplay, they continue to improve it. They're going to redesign Symmetra, I think, that was released last week, improve her gameplay a little bit, which I think is much needed. Generally speaking, though, it's the game everybody hoped it would be.
Ron, you're muted.
Are you guys Overwatch players as well?
Yes. Well, I play. I don't play competitively, but I do play.
Who do you like to main?
Who do you think? I will give
May.
you. No.
No,
You
that's
shut-
me.
Oh.
May is Bay.
May is Bay.
Oh.
May is Bay.
May is Bay.
I will give you
or
one
Junkrat.
guess. I'll give you one guess.
Who's
You look kind of
close?
like Mercy.
No. No, I am Roadhog. I love playing Roadhog.
Really?
Yes.
Ah, you cheesy bastard.
That's
get caught.
because Veg is a big hooker.
Yes.
Well done.
Alfie says this Jonathan guy looks like he's doing the interview from Amsterdam's red light district.
Absolutely, yeah. Turn on the red.
All right,
He just needs-
fair
he
enough.
just needs
I'm gonna turn off the light.
And of course, also in addition to this, there's going to be a comic coming out very soon. So we've got all that. So yeah, that's going to be the Halloween event coming up for Overwatch. And then another Blizzard game, Heroes of the Storm. They have also announced a new hero from Warcraft 3 is going to be Samuro. So I know
It's just it's not the game it should be. It's trying hard to be like League of Legends, but at least to me, it feels like it's a generation behind their gameplay.
I think it's trying to be League Light. I don't think it's necessarily trying to be the same.
I would agree with that.
LOL is.
It has
Okay.
it has less depth, but it's easier to play. It's
Yeah.
good for.
Then that's my
people.
criticism.
Speaking of League, Dan, what you drinking?
Hold on one second. Something else that I want to throw in news.
Go ahead.
Because it doesn't really go anywhere else. Today, I think on Steam, but it might have been on GOG or somewhere else, I saw an ad for something that I think Ron might be interested in. I didn't pick it up because I'm going to wait for it to be on sale, but it's called the Metronomicon,
What?
as in the Necronomicon. But it's a rhythm. It's like a DDR. Like you tap the arrow keys or WASD and
Yep.
timer the music as they fall down, and that makes your characters like cast spells or do actions or whatever. It looked pretty interesting, but it's
I'll
like
check it out.
still $15. So I'm gonna wait till it goes on sale for like under 10.
I'll check it out. I'm not big into the actual DDR stuff, like a lot of the Necrodancer players are. Like Spooty Biscuit is actually into a DDR community. Speaking
Yeah.
of Spooty Biscuit, before we get into the league news, I did want to give a shout out to him. He is going to be at AGDQ this year, and he's going to be playing Descent 2.
Nice.
Yes.
He needs to give you a shout out.
Yes, Ron, I want to send my condolences for not making
Yeah,
GDQ this year.
I submitted with Sublevel Zero, but me and him were talking beforehand. He said if we both make it in for our respective games, we were going to be on each other's couch. It was going to be really cool. Spooty's a cool guy. I definitely enjoy his streams and everything he's doing for.
And we, Ron, you've muted again. Still muted.
Yep.
What is with you tonight?
I don't know. It's computer related. I know that much. I probably
Okay.
need to restart, but I do know it's also related to my graphics card. Believe it or not.
I think you have something plugged into the wrong place.
It's and I know what the issue is. It's a graphics card, and I think I have fixed it for going forward, but I have to reboot. So
Okay.
it's just that, and I
Well, we'll check it out.
didn't
later.
realize this was going to happen. So, but whatever.
Also, hi to our watchers. We got
a lot tonight.
seven watchers right now. So, hi, people.
Hi, folks. And what are
Are
you
you
drinking?
watching the Watchers?
We are
You're
watching
watching
the
the watchers.
Dan watches the Watchers.
I got
closely.
Lagavulin Distillers Edition tonight.
Excellent.
I'll enjoy it
Brand
greatly
sponsor.
while you guys go through lots of LOL stuff.
Do you have enough for what we're going to go through? Is the question.
Well, I already drank a large glass of wine just before the podcast, so this should be enough to top it off.
Excellent. So there are two main things going on with League of Legends right now, and one of the things, and this actually kind of interests me. They're adding a in-game replay and highlight system.
Replay. Finally.
I know it's like you've had to go to like a third-party program to do this before. I forget the name of it. I used to have it myself. But yeah, apparently you're going to be able to download a copy of the replay when the match is done, and then you can go through and highlight certain parts of the game.
Curse doesn't
So-
too.
What's that, Mitch?
I play League of Legends constantly. I play it at home. I play it before I go to work. I play it during work. This game is fantastic, and I'm just so excited that they continue to improve it.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Now, if only they could improve their community.
And that's
They
half the
are
reason-
little shits.
They are. I love watching it though. And speaking of watching it, we've got Worlds going on, and
Yeah.
we've had some disappointment this week, haven't we?
Yeah, but we've also had some surprising amount of excitement too.
It has been an awesome World so far. I mean, after the first week, we had no team better than 2-1, and we had three games that many people consider to be upsets. And one of those teams that had been making a lot of noise is Albus Nox Luna. And would you believe they made it out of Group A to the quarterfinals?
That is awesome.
Yes, they ended up in second place. They had to play a tiebreaker match to see if they would win it versus Rocks Tigers, who they beat earlier in the day. But Rocks came out and just, to be fair, Albus Nox had a pretty bad draft phase, but Rocks just crushed them. But Rocks also had to, they were fighting for their tournament lives in that last game before the tiebreaker against CLG, and they knocked out CLG. So CLG is out. G2 only won a single game. They're out. You have AHQ out. INTZ, who got an upset last week, they're out. H2K managed to come back from being 1-2. They won 4 games yesterday.
Straight.
4 games straight. H2K. There was this obnoxious chant going on yesterday.
God.
There's like one guy who was leading it who's going, H2 what?
Yeah,
and the
and
whole crowd
everyone
would go H2K.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But they went 4-0 yesterday, ran the table, beat EDG for the tiebreaker, and won their division 5-2. EDG is also going in 4-3.
Yeah, they beat basically I've never seen a team like that, a European team, whip a Chinese team's ass so hard.
2 of them, nonetheless.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can call it 2 of them. One of them is Taiwan.
They're starting to get their act together.
AHQ is
Yes.
I thought AHQ was in Group B.
As
there's-
an interesting side commentary, just socially, I was listening to ESPN radio on the car drive to work the other day, and they were talking about esports, which, you see some people like ESPN, the Ocho, talking about games occasionally, but never before on just like straight radio. I don't know. It's growing. It's impressive.
Is that good or bad for you, out of curiosity?
Me personally,
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I like football, baseball, basketball, whatever, but this is just another faceted thing. And I think it's good for people to hear about because most people still don't know that it's going on. You can understand the game if you pay attention to it a little bit, but that's not too different than, football or basketball or just anything anybody's introduced new to.
Well, the reason I ask is because whenever I go on to ESPN to read their commentary for esports, I'm mildly curious to what the writers say. It's just the comments for it are fucking atrocious. It's like,
well, do you remember in the
games on here? We need to go back to real sports like football and soccer and baseball. It's
fair enough. But if you remember in the 90s and the mid 90s and the late 90s, poker, it's not a sport. There was this goofy thing where one of the poker players was like, yeah, one day this thing is going to be huge and people are going to pay me just to talk about it. And people are like, this guy's an idiot. And then all of a sudden the technology shifted just enough that it could be accessible to the everyman. And then all of a sudden everybody loves poker and it's on ESPN all of the time. I feel like we're kind of 5 years before esports is that.
Oh, yeah. It's inevitable. I mean, when you have a viewership larger than the NBA Finals, there's something going on there.
Yep.
It was up there almost to, what was it, the World Series for baseball too. I think it almost beat that a couple of years ago, where the viewership was like 37 million for baseball, and it was like 34 million for League of Legends. And that's an absurd amount of numbers. Like, people don't understand. That is a lot of people watching.
Yeah, it is. And one group we didn't get to, Group D, by the way. This was a disappointment for today. SSG ran roughshod over that group today. They cleaned up and ended up with a 5-1 record. But it was the game between Royal Never Give Up and TSM that was for second place. And Bjergsen showed up. That was about it.
Yeah, I watched some of it. I was like, what are you guys doing? Burger King has this. What are you guys doing? Just
Ben Skirenden in particular made me rage with how many times he'd go in and then just lose like 90% of his life before he was even close to getting out and wouldn't make it out.
He's the jungler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always had so many problems with jungling. I don't know why. He's just like, he's kind of like that guy that was like, he's good enough to be a pro, but he's like the bottom half.
Yep. And then Splice flamed out. They ended up 1-5. So So Cloud9 is our only hope. They are 2-1 right now in a group with SKT.
Do they have how many times have they play against them?
One more time at least, depending on whether or not there's a tiebreaker. The other teams there are IME and Flash Wolves. So,
that is a rough division.
Yeah, it can be. They could be.
But if they got 2 wins,
trouble.
and they're not doing bad though.
Yeah. So.
Because UE Flash Wolves have been either on the ball or just been sucking so hard.
And then next weekend, of course, the quarterfinals. That'll be in Chicago. The following weekend will be the semifinals in New York. And then on October 29th, the final match will be played in Los Angeles. So that rounds out League of Legends. And Dan's looking pretty shit-faced over there.
I'm all right.
Well, there's a lot of exciting League of Legends news out right now. I mean, you've got Ivern, who is completely a different kind of jungler that has made it in.
I have played him a couple times. He is so bizarre.
He is bizarre, but they've been talking on Reddit about how they're trying to get kind of a bizarre mechanic, bizarre gameplay. They've included things like junglers that do nothing but support. The more interesting one to me are terrain changers, like wall builders that they want to make, which would be like reflective walls where you fire a skill shot, it like bounces off their walls. Very strange stuff like that. They've talked today about the assassin rework that they're going. They're going to change up the equipment and items. Echo, they're going to take away the idea of an Echo tank, make him more just like a poppy, bursty kind of guy. Kyle, they're going to change up entirely. They said that she's in the assassins in the most need of rework. So that's some interesting WoW news. You've also got the definitely not Dominion right now. Yeah. And then coming up are Bots of Doom. I don't know if you guys have seen some of the gameplay.
Bots of Doom.
Yeah. I might come back to play some of those games.
Oh my god,
I love playing those things.
Crazy.
Yes.
It is so crazy. So the things that they've added this year so far, other than the Teemo Satan skin, which is perfect and should have always been there because Teemo is Satan.
Oh my god, Satan's anus.
Yes. And,
preferably his butt plug.
Oh, jeez.
I believe at 10 kills you get more gold. At 20 kills you might get tenacity, and then there's something at 30 kills as well. And all you have to do is survive for 15 minutes. If you can survive for 15 minutes, though, what happens? Giant Devil Teemo right down the middle, huge health. You've got to kill him to survive. I've been watching people play, Bro Fresco, other people on YouTube, and they're not beating the game. Maybe one time I've seen somebody actually beat it.
Oh, man.
It's ridiculous. It's going to be a ton of fun.
It's so hard as it is. I can't wait to see this.
I'm so excited for Doom Bots of Doom. It was so much fun last year.
All right. So up next, we're going to move to the second half of the show. And this is, of course, Shosan's favorite part of the show. I'm so sorry he's missing this again. This, of course, is The Wrecking Crew, where we give out what we've been playing and our recommendations as to what you should play.
I don't like that name.
We'll come up with a better one.
Come up with a better one. Do you want us to do, hey, podcasters, what you playing?
No.
Because I don't want to do that anymore. I really don't. So it's a Wrecking Crew it is for now. And Dej, I'm going to start with you.
Been playing mostly a lot of WoW. Been trying to raid. I got 3 bosses down this week. Just
on what mode?
Normal. I've been wanting to get in there and just wreck house, but I literally one day will be okay. We'll do a couple bosses, and then the next time that we have to raid, I work and they get the rest of them down. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
So I've been playing a lot of WoW, getting a priest up there because I've heard priests are a lot of fun to play, and I've been enjoying the crap out of
Shadow Priests specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of fun to play, and then just veg being veg. And then what was it? I've been playing a lot of League of Legends, sucking at rank because it's ranked. Yeah, I got back into rank because I like beating my face against the wall.
I know, right?
So, like Coles, and you have like 5 diamond accounts or something.
Oh, Cole's been sucking too. I don't know how he stays in his divisions. I don't. No offense onto him, but he sucks half the time.
Really?
Yes.
Why do you
Coles
play
is-
ranked?
I am silver 4, almost into silver 3. But this is for
I
me
understand, but it's so salty. Like,
Oh, it
why?
is.
Why not just enjoy the game?
because the salt is everywhere, my friend. It is the Dead Sea.
I don't know. Maybe it's why I like ARAM so much, because it's random and people can't bitch. If you get a bad team, you just get a bad team.
I can't do ARAM. It drives me up the wall because of
That's
that.
what Macro used to always do. Was a lot of ARAM.
Yeah.
Same here.
So I've been playing that, and then I also go back into Skyrim because there was a huge mod that came out for it a couple weeks ago. I just finally got around to playing it, and it's pretty interesting. It's fully voiced, fully acted. You know, they got a whole bunch of voice actors for it. And by the way, this is a mod, not just the DLC. And it added, I think, like 8 hours of content, 10 hours of content just for one mod. So it's called like Emeriel or something like that. It's a very interesting story. If you have Skyrim, go look it up. Speaking of Skyrim, I think by the end of this month, the remastered version comes out. So I don't know what they're going to be doing with mods, but I hope a lot of them are going to be fixed because almost all of them are going to be broken.
Yeah, that was a big deal with the Skyrim community. Was mod. The Skyrim. Don't get me wrong. Skyrim base game was just off the charts, but the mod community gave it life afterwards.
Yeah, and that's what they did with Oblivion as well. Oblivion still has mods going for it. I looked that up the other day. They still have new mods coming out. And I'm like, that game came out like 10 years ago.
There's news mod for everything coming out all the time.
Oh yeah, I'm not complaining. It's awesome that, you know, modders are still interested in the game and the longevity of it. I also found out that they, you know, the reason why they did the Diablo 2 patch was because people were still playing multiplayer Diablo 2 because of the mods.
Yeah, a lot
So-
of Diablo 2.
And I finally understand the frustration of the gamers who have Diablo. There's a lot of dog noise going on. Now I understand the frustration of the people who were saying, you know, why they didn't like D3 as much as D2. And I finally see it, but D3 is still fun. And that's what I've been playing this week.
That reminds me, the Diablo 3 season ends, I believe, on the 14th.
I'm not going to get that tab, I guess.
I me either. I haven't played it. I have not played it since.
WoW kind of wrecked that.
So,
into
yeah,
the
WoW
ground.
completely destroyed it, and I was having a lot of fun this season. Me and my wife were both just chugging along, and then WoW came out, and it's like, okay, Diablo 3 is no longer a thing.
Yeah, damn you, WoW, and actually making a decent expansion this time around.
I'm still reserving judgment for the later patches. I'm kind of done with the world quests, but I'll get to that on my section.
You do that all the day. Like I don't understand how you do them. Every single one of them.
I'm done with them. I haven't done them in a while.
Good.
But anyway, anything else?
No.
All right, so we will move it over to the new guy. What you got going on?
So I've been playing a lot of Power Stone 2, Asheron's Call, Pong, really trying to get up the ranks in Pong. Agario.
Like the Pouncy Pong? Like the
Oh, hugely competitive. Yeah. Oh
Really?
my gosh. No.
Oh.
You've just been trolled.
Veg, did you not catch, like, from the very beginning of this podcast that 90% of what Jonathan says is complete bullshit?
Oh, I'll get you back.
Creative.
I will get you back.
Creative.
Don't worry about that.
Creative.
All right. So I've been playing Agario. I'm sure you guys have played it too. It's your little blob, and you pick up a little blob, and you get bigger, and then you're the biggest blob, and you capture other players, and it's free to play, and it's online. agar.io. It's a lot of fun. Also, for a game where you can't text or chat anyone, tremendously racist. Because you get to name your blob different things, and it's horrible. So, you know, big swastikas going around. And Destiny, I've got a brother-in-law who loves Destiny, and it is the best Skinner box kind of thing I've ever seen. You grind and you grind and you grind. Slightly better gun. Do you guys play Destiny at all?
Yes.
Do you have what console do you have it for?
PS4.
Me too. What's your
So you played a
light
bunch?
level? Oh yeah. What's your light level?
Oh, God, I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it, man.
Rounder. So I'm assuming not any higher than 330.
Yes, no, not. That's
Okay.
good Lord. No, but I mean, it can zap up your entire life. It's just you look at the clock and you've been playing it for 6 hours. It's
Oh
crazy.
yeah, it's so time consuming. That's the other game I was trying to think. I was playing Destiny this week to try to get my light level up to 350. So, by the way, have you played the expansion yet or no?
Not the expansion, no.
If you
Yeah,
haven't
I
invested,
hear good things.
oh, it's a lot of fun. They actually did a lot of good work with it. Like, I'm very disappointed in the fact that Destiny 1, like year 1, should have been year 2. Like that's how it should have been released as. But
Yeah.
go on.
Other than that, I'm playing a lot of League of Legends, and as I said earlier, Overwatch. The arcade mode was a ton of fun when it came out. It was just chaos and noise. I'm looking forward to what they bring forth for Halloween. I think that'll be good too. And then I guess that's pretty much it. So I'm going to pass it on to Dan.
Yeah. Dan, what you got going on?
A couple of things. This week, I played some Paladins, which is the free version of Overwatch, basically. We talked about that a little bit last week. It's by the same people who make Smite.
Yeah, there was a bit of controversy with that one too.
Not really.
That controversy.
I think I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about how similar a lot of things in Paladins and Overwatch are.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
they even said that they took it, and
Well,
that the game and that it's been out since, or they've been making it since 2005 or some crazy shit like that. And then,
Yeah, the game's been out for way longer than Overwatch.
oh yeah, no, I know that, but it's just people are bitching. It's funny.
Yeah, butthurt people cry more.
Ice the mod.
I played some more We Happy Few. I made it a little bit further. Thanks again to Shosan, who I don't. He's not even watching,
No,
but he's probably out on pills.
he probably is.
But yeah, like when I changed the way that I played it, when I went from thinking that it was sort of RPG-ish, because it reminds me a lot of BioShock. So when I stopped thinking of it as a first-person shooter and started thinking of it as like a survival horror game, I started making a lot more progress because I was a lot more careful. I didn't use items like I was just, oh, it's a healing item, blah, 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 I'll use it. If I played it like a survival game and stashed things away and crafted a lot of stuff, then I made a lot more progress. So that's been fun. And I also finished The Dig 21 years later after release.
Can you dig it?
That is not a part of the game.
It should be.
But that was a good LucasArts adventure game. I read the novelization of it in like whatever 6th grade or something like that. So it was like having a really, really poorly written game guide in the back of my head.
Huh.
Because I always kind of knew what I needed to do next because I sort of remembered the plot from the novel, but knowing exactly how to do it in the game was something that I didn't know. So it actually got kind of frustrating because, in the old adventure games, like you have to like use the stick with the peg and you have no idea sometimes what the combination of items you need to use is. So I just was trying to combine every single thing in my inventory till something happened. And that was mostly it this week. Not a lot of gaming time.
All right. Before I get to my stuff, a couple things that have come up that I've seen in chat here. Captain Danian wanted to mention that Oxenfree is $5 on Steam right now.
What is that?
That's the game he did the documentary for the ARG on.
Oxenfree.
Yes.
Let me look.
And I also saw somewhere, if I know, Dan, this is probably not the price point you want yet, but No Man's Sky is down to $40 at Best Buy.
I'm going to wait for it to be 5.
$45. And then have you guys seen Mr. Fu's holodeck yet?
Mr.
Oh, wait.
Fu can eat a dick, an entire bag of them.
Wait, a holodeck?
Mr. Fu obviously does not have children and spends his extra money on setting up like basically the computer from War Games, but he uses it to game instead.
That's pretty accurate. He's got a whole room at his house dedicated to VR. He's using the HTC Vive with that, and apparently it looks pretty cool. He says he'll eat a dick if it's available in VR.
Wait until Coles' game comes out.
Yeah, so you'll have to play Coles' game.
This
I'm
is Shower
sure.
with Your Father Simulator 2017 VR edition.
No, it'll be Shower with Coles.
Oh no,
So,
no! Shower with Coles' father.
Yeah, let's just not talk about this
Deluxe
anymore.
edition.
I'm sorry I brought it up. We're moving on. So stuff that I've been doing this week, of course, World of Warcraft. It's kind of funny because I raid with two groups right now. I raid with my guild, For Honor on Senjin, and then I raid with the guild that Salif has been playing with, which is Resistance on Silvermoon. And it's kind of funny because they raid at the same times. It's Tuesday, but my group is 6 to 8. Their group is 6 to 9. So I raided from 6 to 8 on Tuesday, killed the first 5 bosses, jumped into Resistance's raid where they had already killed the first 5 bosses and killed the last 2.
Jeez.
So that was kind of cool. And then so I've got clear on normal. Heroic mode is hard as F.
Yeah, I've been hearing it's like a truck.
Oh man, it's so hard, and our guild is so bad at mechanics. And it's kind of funny because I wish I could give the people's accounts from my guild to the players in Resistance because they have the mechanics down. They just don't have the gear or the DPS to do it. And it's just like, okay, whatever.
I saw a thing this week that was like what it's like to play Mythic 10 dungeons.
Uh-huh.
And it was like, congratulations, guys, we did it. We killed the first trash mob.
That's not very far from being accurate, let me tell you.
It's rough.
I have not done anything higher than 3. And it's pretty rough. And then Crypto Next Transfer, of course, next Saturday, I'm going to be on at around 9:30 in the morning Pacific time for the Marathon of Pain. This is a 11-hour marathon that's supporting Child's Play, and it's going to be hosted over at ELAD Difficult's channel. And I'm actually running 2 races, best of 3s, against 2 different people. One of them I'm going to be playing Bard, and the other one I'm going to be playing Melody. But the thing that they're doing with this is they have this wheel, like, and they'll spin the wheel, and the wheel will land on something like base weapon only, and you can only finish the game with a base weapon, or no trap doors, which means you can't use the shortcuts of the trap doors to get to the next level. Something like that. Something that you usually rely on for going fast is going to be taken out of the game at random.
No mining.
Wrong game. There's no mining.
You can't. You can't go through walls then.
Yeah, there's that. There's you cannot pick up a shovel. There's one of those.
I was kind of
you
joking.
do have to go. You do actually have to go through walls to finish the game. Zone 4 had you're surrounded by walls in Zone 4, but there's certain levels of walls that you need higher shovels to dig through, and there's one thing on the wheel where you cannot get anything higher than the base shovel. So stuff like that. It's gonna be really cool. I'm also probably going to be in the Condor event Friday. It's going to be at 4 p.m. on the same channel. And this is something called Puzzdoor, where people create puzzles in the level editor, and you have to figure them out as fast as possible. It's going to be pretty cool. Some of these people come up with these impossible puzzles, it seems like, and I'm looking forward to actually competing in this one. I missed the last one, and I was upset at that. So I'll be in this one. Another thing that's been taking up most of my time this week is something called Screeps.
Yes.
This is Screeps, of course, is a combination of the word creep and script. And basically
of
what this is, of course, yeah, is it's StarCraft minus the story and graphics, plus make it an MMO, plus you have to code the units yourself in JavaScript.
That sounds amazing.
It is so cool. It's I think it's like $14 on Steam right now. And they have things like CPU and memory limitations and stuff like that. And I just got started in this, and it's like, yeah, I can't stop watching these things. I got lucky because I found a nice little starting area that's got like this choke point. There's so few choke points in the game, and they'd have to get through like this massive wall to get in, and they got some defenses set up and stuff like that. And if you're into JavaScript at all or TypeScript, I highly recommend this. There's a lot of resources out there that that help you get started. There's a tutorial that was rather good to get you into the game. It's on Steam, but it's also available at their website, Screeps.com, if you're not into the Steam thing. Yeah, definitely check that out. So, unless anyone's got anything else.
One last thing that I forgot to talk about last week
Yes.
is just previous to last week's broadcast, Pislam and I broke out of a casino, and it was
We did.
it was quite exciting.
Yes.
You're gonna
What?
put any
Explain.
context to this?
So we did a breakout room or a escape room.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
You did tell me about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you've probably played a Flash version of this about 10 years ago while you were in college.
Or you
Sounds
download the
fine.
free app on iOS.
Yeah,
Do it.
The Room, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I was expecting it to be lame, and it was not as lame as I thought.
Not at all.
No, it was quite fun. I feel like we had a couple more people. It made the room crowded.
Too many cooks, too many cooks, too many cooks, too many. Yeah, the funny thing is when we finished it, they said, wow, a lot of people get hung up on the math portion. And Dan and I were like, math portion?
What math?
What
portion?
math portion? Yeah,
And of
it
course,
was like
it was the portion that
recognizing
you guys did.
patterns.
Well, it was a casino, so like one of the things was like you have to be able to count chips and do simple multiplication.
So you're basically saying that really, really stupid people fail at that all the time. Go figure.
Yes, basically.
We did not fail.
Yeah,
We
I
got
did,
out with time to spare.
I did one last year, and the big part of the puzzle that I solved was this card game called Pairs, and basically the result of that was it gave us like a Bible verse, and we had to go find a Bible, look up a particularly underlined word, and go from there. And they were saying that was one of the harder parts, and I got it done in like 10 minutes, like within the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, we
Lowest common denominators. Yeah.
we actually wasted a lot of time because at one point we used a laser to shine across the room and hit a target, bouncing off some mirrors. And when we hit the target, a whole bunch of coins fell out of a slot machine, and we were convinced that one of the coins. Well, I was convinced. I think I probably led that effort. That one of the coins was different. Like I thought one of the coins was going to have some words on it or be a different thickness or something and have something inside of it. But really, it unlocked a door that had been there the entire time.
Yeah, without hyperbole, there were hundreds of coins, and people were down on all fours trying to go through and stack and compare these coins. In the meanwhile, in the corner, a door is opened up for us. Now, it was so much fun that my wife actually wants to do one of these again, and there's a kidnapping one.
Mm-hmm.
You could tell if people wanted to be a little nefarious or a little bit evil, they could make it really creepy. The kidnapping theme one seems like it go dark very fast.
Well, you begin blindfolded and handcuffed, I believe, in that one.
Wait, people pay for this?
People pay for this, yes.
Man,
You could have been making a living this entire
I
time.
know. Damn it.
Yeah, they're kind
I'm
of
just
fun.
here, I thought thinking it was a
if you got
fetish.
if you've got an escape room near you, you get like about, I don't know. I think our group
It's
was like 8 to 10 people.
Yeah, somewhere between 6 and 10 people, depending on which room.
and see if you got one near you, and definitely check this out. It's a whole lot of fun.
Or start your own because they're becoming extremely lucrative.
Yeah, it's very interesting. So we're going to move on to the third half of the show. Shosan's favorite half. He's so upset he's missing this that he's just lying in bed. He's got to take some medication to knock him out so he's not upset too much over it. I'm not sure that's why he's taking medication, but that's another story entirely. This is the Gaming Roundtable. It's the only section of the show that we actually have a good name for that we all like.
Yes.
I
And this-
agree.
And this is the section of the show where we take a topic, we take a question, and we pose it out there for debate and discussion. And this week, I really couldn't let the whole TwitchCon diversity debate go. But we've had like questions similar to this in the past, where we ask things like what can we do to help this out. But my question this week is about companies like Twitch itself, and they're putting this out there, and obviously what they did kind of backfired. What do companies like Amazon and I guess Google for YouTube and stuff like that, what
Target.
do they Target? Why Target?
They like to shoot themselves in the foot.
Well, Target's that's different.
Nah.
I mean, if kind of along those lines, like Target said, we're not going to have segregated restrooms, and they're going to let people use whichever restroom they want, and that caused a boycott. I assume that's what Vetch is talking about.
Yes.
Yeah, that's different. That's different entirely. This is about what can these big companies do to, because we've debated this in the past, and we've come to the conclusion that you're not going to get rid of internet trolls. They're going to happen. They're going to exist. But what can they do to minimize the effects of this? What can they do to, I guess, prevent a repeat of what happened with the diversity panel?
Well, it's hard, and I think that, I mean, think about like what we deal with on our Twitch chat, right? Like, typically we've got like anywhere between 2 and 10 people watching our Twitch channel when we're live. And when we get extra people, usually it's trolls. Like if it's not people that we've invited or not someone who found it organically and actually likes it, we usually get some people in here who watch for about 10 minutes and then start spamming the channel with all kinds of crazy shit.
They usually don't wait 10 minutes.
Yeah. So, and then we end up having to either mute or ban them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to really popular Twitch channels, then there's a whole lot of the shit going on. And so sometimes is it like to get viewership, you have to allow that to go on? Or if you censor that, do you lose viewership?
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have an answer to that. I just think that that's when we look at what happens on our channel, making a really big channel, multiply by a ton. Mr. Fu said he's actually a long-term, deeply embedded troll. So one of these days he's just going to snap, and the trollingness is
right. So one day we're just going to see like a giant penis on our chat log,
and he'll be eating it in VR.
Oh my god! Stop.
Kind of my feedback on this is, I look at the channels that I enjoy being in, and I'm going to put 3 names out there: Squega, Aaron Knight, and Spontaneity. These are 3 streamers. They do different things. Like Spontaneity is a big Blizzard streamer. She does World of Warcraft and Diablo 3. Aaron Knight's a variety streamer. And Squega, he's mostly Necrodancer, but he also streams some other things as well. The common thread between those 3 communities is that they do not allow stuff like that to happen. Now, when I go and watch like the bigger streamers, like Ammunition is one, Tim the Tapman's another. I don't know if you guys watch any of these streamers. They have really bad chat.
And I think at that mass though, because whenever I watch like Meteos or the Odd One Play, when they have like 10, 15,000 people watching them, I think the mass of them just outweighs the good people, unfortunately.
Well, the good people sit back and watch.
Well, that too, yeah.
It's the vocal minority. It's like what happens on Akaya's forums. This example I always come back to. And also, Mortha mentioned, and I agree, that Google and YouTube had a short-lived solution. People didn't like it.
Very short-lived. I mean, this came out like 2 weeks ago, and it's like no longer a thing.
No, it was a while back.
Was it? Was it longer than 2 weeks?
Maybe they've done it again. They tried it again, but
the Google Hero thing or YouTube Heroes?
No. There was
you used your real name.
They had real name or whatever, and they had you use your real name. Like it wouldn't be whatever your handle was. It was your real name. And I think it made people feel more like they were talking to a real person. And so they were less likely to troll, or they didn't want to put their own name out there and troll under their own name.
Yeah, that's different. You're right.
But people said there was all kinds of privacy issues, and I think they ended up going back on it.
Yeah. And then the thing I mentioned is a YouTube Hero thing. That's like a program where they're basically letting YouTube moderate itself.
Yep. They like give you points for flagging things, which in theory sounds kind of good, but then you realize people are just going to brigade the shit out of channels that they don't like.
Yeah.
It's a solution. It's probably not the best solution out there, but
Honestly, what they really need to do is let the channel or the people who own the channels give to moderators or people who they trust, to govern their channels, because they do that on Twitch. Like they allow that on Twitch to monitor the stream.
And that's my question on this. And I hate to interrupt here, but where were their moderators? This is Twitch.com. This isn't some small time streamer that has to rely on monitoring themselves, or maybe get a couple trusted people to do it. Twitch should have
I had a feeling they were like, they're like, oh, this is going to be a civil conversation on the internet. Yeah, like that's ever going to be.
No, they know better than that.
Apparently not. They let it go to that level.
I mean, there's channels that don't care. Like if you watch Games Done Quick during when they're doing their thing, their chat's awful. But
yeah.
They make light of it. They don't moderate it. They just make light of it.
Yeah, they ignore it. They don't. They know that it's
Twitch should have been all over this. And I feel like I feel like that's part of the problem for them for this particular incident.
But people also need to recognize between trolling and actual criticism. When you go off and drop the N-bomb like 80 billion times, that's trolling.
That person needs to get the F out.
Yeah, but if someone's actually, criticizing that person with legitimate concerns, of how they're conducting this or something like that, that actually needs to be taken seriously. And on Twitch, a lot of people, do abide by that and go by the honor system on that. But like with this, I don't know what the hell they were thinking with this. I mean, I get it with the diversity group. Like to me, to begin with, that honestly seems dumb.
I think having the panel is a great idea because this is an actual issue that needs to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
No, but I'm saying the way they went about it is dumb.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, because I agree. Like a lot of people who are not a white male or female, usually get rushed off of Twitch, and it's appalling. And I saw like one of my favorite streamers. He's actually a really good friend of mine who stopped doing it when he had like 500, 600 people watching him, and just the entire time they're like, oh, why don't you go back to Africa? Why don't you go back to your country? Why don't you eat chicken on live stream if we pay you? It's like, why are you saying this? It's like, that makes no damn sense. It's needlessly racist.
Because I think it's funny. I think that propagating stereotypes are funny, and it's just those are the people that need to get the F out. I don't know. I'm not quite sure if there's anything like in general that can be done. I don't think that the YouTube system is going to have the effect that they're looking for. I do like the idea of communities figuring out ways to moderate themselves on a individual level. And that's like I said, like those 3 channels that I mentioned, those guys would never put up with that stuff. They just kick him right out, or would have a moderator kick him right out.
Yeah, we also, what was it? Antibot, he blew up when he did. He had to, I remember quickly that he had to get a bunch of moderators for his channel because they literally were out, like all the chat was getting outweighed. But at the same time, like I said, there's so many people when you have, like, for example, I ignore chat. Like it actually dumbs down my computer whenever I watch World or something like that.
There's certain things that I will not turn chat on for. League of Legends, Riot Games is one of those channels that I just do not want to even see chat.
At least they have a community policing endeavor. If somebody doesn't like what's happening, you report somebody and the community punishes them. In theory, it works to some degree.
Yeah, it works to some degree, but I mean, the people that are really bad and serious about being bad, they're just making more accounts and stuff like that. I mean, it's something that we've seen in the past. Oh man, it was so funny. I back when they had, you remember the Tribunal, right?
Oh yeah.
Oh man, I don't remember exactly what it was, but I
had a 95% rating.
There was something having to do with gays and Chick-fil-A sandwiches. I don't remember exactly what it was, but it was so bad. I mean, but it was so funny at the same time. It's just like, some people they do this to amuse themselves. And I do think that League is trying. and it's something I mentioned before. I'm not sure that they'll ever completely get it right, but it's, they're trying. Google's trying. Is there going to be a global solution? I don't think there ever will.
No,
I don't think you can have the internet be the greatest creation for free expression that humanity has ever made, but not expression that you don't agree with. I mean, I'm saying it's foul and people should disagree with it, but it is a whole area for free expression. Maybe the genie's out of the bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that is the awesomeness of, and the awesome power of the internet is that freedom of speech, and as well as that anonymity. God, I can't talk tonight. See anemones. So in a sense, I get it. I truly do. You don't want to censor people, but at the same time, there's just some things that don't need to be said. I get it that you want to quote unquote push people, but my line is very high. Like, you have to push me way above most people's things to offend me. But that's just me, though. And I know that there's some little people that get offended by everything. You call them a negative Nancy and they get all fucking huffy.
I assume you guys all graduated high school more than a decade ago.
8 years.
Wow, you're a baby. But
shut your hole.
Oh,
all right.
oh God,
the point
I'm old now. Oh,
yeah. Yes, no, we are old. I'm sorry. The point I want to make is that I can't imagine how difficult it would be going to school right now with the internet, where people whisper something in the locker room. That's okay. Maybe you hear it, maybe you don't. Maybe there's a rumor, but now you see everything. You go home, it doesn't end. I can't imagine what kids these days are going through. And on the other side of that coin, I know I was an idiot in high school and middle school, and some of the stuff that I said and thought, I would not want to be out in the ether forever. And yet these kids now, those words written on a Facebook wall or in an email or something.
Yeah, I saw a meme that said like, no viable candidates for 2024 election because social media has made every single American unelectable. And
that's okay. Well, President Trump's third term.
It's all right.
Please, God, no.
I hope you're joking.
I didn't drink enough to.
No, neither did I, and I don't drink. So I think we're gonna. Unless you guys have anything else you want to add.
I do want to say that since we always kind of struggle. Well, we don't struggle for roundtables, but sometimes we come up with the last minute. If any of the viewers have Martha just threw up a little.
Nice job, Jen.
If you come up with a roundtable for next week, either I guess put it on our Facebook page. That's a good place for it. fb.me/6gaminggg.
Shameless plugs. Here we go.
If you come up with a good roundtable,
this is the fourth half of the show. The
fourth half of the show is shameless plugs. If you come up with a good roundtable, I'll send you a free game. I've got a whole bunch of random games that I have codes for, and I'll send you a free game. So come up with a good roundtable, and I'll give you a couple options, and you can pick a free game.
Awesome.
Can I have a free game?
No.
No. But I want one.
But yeah, cool. Very cool. All right, so we are going to go ahead and close the show. Thank you guys for watching. Of course, you can check out our archive over on YouTube, and we'll try to get the podcast up today. We're wanting to kind of get a little more serious about how we're managing the podcast. We haven't really updated the podcast in a while. It's been a video podcast. We want to kind of have an audio podcast to go along with it, or maybe even replace it. I don't know. But you can check out everything that we do over at 6six.gg. And there you can get our Discord channel, which, of course, Mr. Pissed, you are more than welcome to join. We've got our Discord channel, a YouTube page, we got a Facebook page. Definitely check all that out. And with that, we're going to go ahead and close the show. Danny, you want to give us any closing arguments?
I think maybe I'll start us a Pinterest page.
No, God. Oh, please, no.
Stop it.
And we got to get on LinkedIn.
Oh.
and definitely Friendster. We definitely need to get on Friendster.
What's Friendster?
MySpace.
Fuck
Friendster was
you.
before MySpace. And I really think we should put
Grinder.
JDate. We should get on JDate for sure.
What about Square? What about what is it? The job one.
I said LinkedIn already.
Monster.com.
Soon you
Wow.
can find Six Gaming on Tinder.
It's just gonna have. I'm just gonna put all the hosts on Tinder and see what happens.
We're gonna wait. What?
We're all gonna be on Tinder, and I'll just forward you any interesting. Veg, go like this.
No, that's Pinteresting if we're gonna keep this up.
No.
I'm
Should
gonna
I
take
go?
a screenshot.
Should I go
and
get
put you on-
my virginity protector?
Can we move on to
Veg? That's your face.
Well, oh.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
Hate speech.
up!
Of course.
I'm reporting you for being a dick.
Toss, man.
Veg, do you have any
Sorry, that was the
response to
meanest. I
this?
think Veg. I think that's the meanest thing I ever said to you. I'm sorry.
Veg, do you have any response to this for your closing statements?
Dan is a douche. Canoe.
Go on. I know you're not done.
He's a bastard, and he's. I don't know. I
Veg,
can't
we're
be mean to
doing
him.
You can't do it.
Oh, words
Oh,
mean
that's
things, Veg.
Cock
They
sucking
do.
douche canoe. There we go. I'm better now. Thank you.
Okay, look at the look on his face.
It just like he had to get it going. Like it
Yeah.
it's going,
It's
it
like-
rolls off.
He's like, what did he just say? Do you have any closing statements for us, sir?
Thank you guys.
Oh, sorry. Go.
Taught me new curse words. This is great, man. What are your final thoughts?
If you live in Texas and live kind of close to the Houston area, the Texas Renaissance Festival is officially open. Go visit it. I went there today. It is so damn fun. I got my awesome cape from there, or cloak, and it was worth every penny. I will tell you guys how much it was later.
Veg is gonna wear his like $500 cloak everywhere.
I am for like a week.
He did not deny that price. I just made that
Yeah.
up, but he
Yeah.
definitely did not
No.
say it wasn't that much.
It was actually closer to 300, but still.
No. Okay.
Oh my god. Well,
It's
for
weather
that much
resistant.
material, of course it was.
No, it's actually weather resistant. It's actually, and it's made from a lot of very expensive cloth.
In fact, $300. I don't think that's enough to cover a planet.
It's enough to cover your mom. I don't know.
It's enough to cover your mom.
I'm
You
enough
say
to
that
cover
because
your
mom's
mom.
been on the
Okay.
podcast before.
All right,
I'm done.
Mr. Lama, anything else you want to say before we sign off here?
Llama, duck.
Yes, let's hear.
All right. Thank you guys very much for having me. I appreciate it. You guys are cool. This was a lot of fun. I'd like to tell everyone who's in Memphis that October 22nd and 23rd at the Cook Convention Center is the Memphis Comics Expo. In previous years, it's been a lot of fun and should be a lot of fun this year as well. One game I forgot to mention that I play quite often, it's a lot of fun, is Battle Cats on mobile device. It's fun, free to download, and there's payable things once you do that. Feel free to hit me up on League of Legends at Piss Llama or at PS4 at Greedy Pufferfish. And beyond that, enjoy your burrito.
Thanks, Chris.
Also, do you play?
Wait. What the hell is up with that gamer tag?
What, greedy pufferfish?
Yes, I want to know the story
What does
behind
it
that
sound
one.
like?
So we had a pufferfish, and he was very greedy. He would eat all the other fish's food, and he's a blowfish, a pufferfish. And
Right.
my sister, when she was younger, thought it would be fun to show her friends how to make it puff. So she got a stick and started poking the fish, and it blew up, which was fine. And then a few minutes later, they were bored, so they poked it with the stick again. And the second time, it puffed up like that. The third time they got bored, a little while later, they poked it with a stick and it blew up. And then it floated upside down because it had died. While a defense mechanism, very strenuous on the heart, they cannot do it multiple times in a short period of time. She killed my pet fish. And now, because I play with her husband on PS4, I made that my gamer tag.
Okay,
So greeter pufferfish.
that is an acceptable gamer tag. That is awesome. Sad but
Yeah.
awesome.
That's,
Yeah, it was a good fish.
I just want to throw out here that I somewhat recently learned. So in Memphis, there's a bowling alley called Billy Hardwick's, and if you've ever been bowling, you'll see the name Hardwick on a lot of the Hardwick lanes. Like a lot of it's a brand name of a lot of stuff. Billy Hardwick is Chris Hardwick's dad, and he spoke about that a couple of times. Like he said, "Oh yeah, I used to bowl a lot. I was at a bowling alley. My dad was a big bowler." I was like, Hardwick. That would be an obvious connection.
So I'm like 50% sure that as a kid I went to the bowling alley and Chris Hardwick like handed me shoes, or he was there. I know his dad traveled a lot. I know Chris grew up in other places. But as an aside, on one of his podcasts recently, he was talking about it with, I think, Billy West, that Chris Hardwick has bowled like a 290 before. He's apparently like a fantastic bowler.
He's very good.
Yeah.
I mean, his dad's Billy Hardwick, so.
all right.
Fair enough.
And of course, once again, thank you guys for joining us this week. We'll be here every week, Saturday, 10 p.m. Central. I'm not going to say standard time because I'm not Shosun, but it will be 10 o'clock, adjusting for daylight savings.
We'll say 11:10 Central.
11:10
on
Central, 8
Nickelodeon.
Pacific.
No, we're not on Nickelodeon. We are not age appropriate for them.
No, we're not. They would kick
This is
us
Nick
off
at Night.
so fast.
No, we're not even appropriate for them.
No, not at all. So once again, thank you for watching, and until next week, Veg.
Later. You guys have a good night. See you. Bye.